Hello, crafty friends. My name is Jessica, and welcome back to my channel. I am officially back on YouTube after a little bit of a hiatus, and today we have a card where I'm using some of the products from the You Are My Favorite Lease with Simon Says Stamp, as well as some older, already established products. So the first thing is we're going to use this already created ink panel. This panel came from one of my color blend series, and it is Violet, Tropic, and Celery, and it's really, really beautiful. And then we're going to go ahead and use this receding squares. Now you're going to watch me try to figure out this stencil. It did not come with imaging when I received the product from the company. I received it in a very plain cellophane little bag. So I was not sure how this product was supposed to be laid out. But as you can see on my Instagram feed, I made a lot of really cool backgrounds with this, not knowing what it was meant to do. However, full disclosure, transparency, I went into this project thinking I knew how to officially create the receding squares after seeing many, many inspirations on Instagram and on Simon's website. I thought I had it figured out, but you're going to see that we kind of worked through that together. Now, my stamps or my stamping pads were really juicy. I was not expecting that. I've been a little MIA from my craft room just because I've had a lot going on, and then I went ahead and I messed with my recording setup. And it just took me just a little bit longer than I anticipated to get it back up and going and comfortable with it back in the craft room. So you're going to see that I'm using a different kind of mat. This is a glass board studio mat, and I had to really work with the lighting so that I wasn't getting a lot of glare, and it's still a work in progress. As you can tell, the coloring's a little not quite where I want it to be, but we're getting through it. At least I'm back here with you today sharing handmade goodness. So these ink pads were really juicy and I wasn't expecting that. So it did gather a little bit underneath the stencil. So what that means is that I loaded my brush up a little too heavy, and then you're going to see those little spots down there at the bottom. Now this is where I realized that I clearly did not understand what I was doing. I'm kind of going back in wondering, do I need to do something different? Like, what do we need to do to get that really beautiful geometric square? And I just decided, you know what? I really enjoyed the shapes that this stencil gave, and I just went with it. You're going to see that I have like 3 or 4 other cards on my Instagram right now that I did them all differently, and none of them actually were receding squares. However, I would really encourage you to go check out Simon's website. Go click on the stencil link on their website for this stencil, and there's a ton of just different inspiration products, as well as the graphic from the company and the packaging, and showing you how you can kind of achieve the square that you're looking for. I'm told that you're just supposed to flip it up upside down. I thought I did that, but here we are. Now, because that ink did gather underneath my stencil, I was not happy with my crisp lines. As you can see right there, it's quite a bit, especially with that celery color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw some splatter on it and just help kind of mask and mimic those little droplets. And we're just going to go ahead and see that those will help the dots kind of disappear and kind of make it look a little bit more mixed media. So it's really one of those things that I love to do in card making is pivoting. I do not go into a card knowing exactly what I want to do, or even when I think I know what I want to do, we end up with situations like this where it just doesn't turn out the way I want it. So we're adding a little bit of splatter here. This is just an acrylic paint, a white acrylic paint. You can use any one. This one I do believe I got off Amazon. I'm pretty happy with it. It does need to have water to dilute it down to get that nice consistency. It was a little thinner than I wanted. I did want a little bit more of some bigger drops, but I just thinned it a little bit too much. So we got that finer kind of misty splatter, but that's okay. Now I'm going to go in with this black soot distress paint. This is the perfect consistency for splatter. I absolutely love it. You do not have to add water to it. And look at that. It's splattering just me picking it up on my brush, but I really love the consistency that it gives, and it dries beautifully, very opaque, very, very rich black. And I also love how it pairs with this white. They don't blend together. I definitely did not dry in between, and we're not getting any kind of mixing. So these paints are very much separating, but coming together in the end. So I did go ahead and dry that off camera. Now I'm going to go ahead and build my sentiment. This is an older sentiment set from Simon Says Stamp. It's just a thank you one. So it does have this beautiful shadow die, and we're going to go ahead and layer it up. I did cut this out of 100-pound cardstock, I believe it is, either 100 or 110. And I cut it out 3 times, and we love to go ahead and layer it. Now I have added my Barely Art glue into this little precision bottle. This is a Gina K fine line precision bottle, and I am absolutely in love with the way that it's working out. The glue does not clog. I have been also kind of I think one time Jennifer McGuire mentioned it, is where you like kind of burp the bottle and just make sure that that glue is kind of falling back down. That's really, really important. I also, this is going to be weird, but I also do blow the tip back and blow the glue kind of back into the bottle. And I've been finding that I'm not getting any clogging. Oh, my brain just cut out. I'm not getting any clogging, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm not getting glue in my mouth. I'm definitely just blowing on it to hope that it blows it back down, but to each their own. I don't recommend that part, but I've not had any clogs. So we're gonna go ahead and layer this up 3 times for a nice thick kind of chipboard feel. As you can see, I got white splatter all over my hands. As much as I love this glassboard studio, and the cons of it are of course my lighting, and getting those reflections, I do love the fact that it cleans up absolutely beautiful. This is the gray one, and I did go with the 24 by 36. This was the Christmas gift that I bought for myself this year, and I've really, really loved it. It cleans up beautifully. I haven't had any scratches, and I love the gray color. It really helps projects be a little bit more noticeable. I guess I'm not sure how it makes me feel 100%, but compared to like a black glass mat or a black self-healing mat, I'm really liking this more lighter kind of color when I'm creating. So here I'm just showing you that you can get really thin lines with this fine tip applicator, and it's been a really, really great addition to my craft room. You can load it with any of your liquid glues. The nice thing is the pack from Gina K does come with 3 bottles. So if you like different liquid glues for different things, you can fill 3 of them up with your favorites. I recommend Barely Art, Gina Glue Connect. I also like Simon Says Stamps craft glue. It's a little bit on the thicker side, but I enjoy using it for very specific reasons, like gem placement and all of that. It helps them stick just a little bit better. So now that we've got that sentiment kind of being pressed by my blocks there, we're going to go ahead and move on to using some stamps. I decided to use the little trio of butterflies from the Mandala Blossom stamp set that just recently came out with Simon Says Stamp. And we're going to go and add that to our background. Now, this is future Jessica looking at this video and just giving an extra little tip. If you were going to use stamped images, it probably would have been a better idea to go ahead and stamp those images before you stamped with ink. And I'm only saying that because you're going to notice here, and maybe you don't notice it, but I do notice it when I looked at the card, that where that white paint is, it was really hard to get a nice black image. Now, the downside to that is that you're going to be putting white paint on top of potentially a black trio of silhouetted butterflies, and maybe that's not the look that you're looking for. Maybe you are okay with maybe a little bit of that white shadowing. You can kind of see it there on the big one, that one of the dots of white, you can kind of see through it. It also does create a little bit of a texture issue, so the stamping, I would have recommended maybe using a stamping platform so that you can go over it a couple times to really ensure that you're getting it nice and dark. I used a little bit of light tack tape to block the smallest butterfly so that we can have that odd number. I like odd numbers when I'm placing little embellishments. I kind of view these butterflies as embellishments, although we're going to add gems. So the rules of 3 is nice, but you're going to kind of see me here get that larger butterfly and kind of just visually see if it's something I'd like to add. And I decided not to. I'm going to go ahead and keep it the way it is. Now, these rectangular A2 dies are a must-have in your craft room. And I have them from Hero Arts, and now I've added Simon Says Stamp because they did send these to me. They're great to have. You can make really great frames using them, just kind of like taping them together when you go to die cut. Or it's just a really easy way to just get a nice panel. Sometimes when you're using a paper trimmer, I use a guillotine, and you want to take off a certain amount like this. You notice I kind of was heavier on the right side because I wanted to center those butterflies the way that I wanted to do that. And so that can be hard sometimes when you're using a guillotine cutter because, that's more metric driven. You can take off, like an eighth of an inch and all of that from each side. Where this one, I wanted to visually place those butterflies in this panel. And so using these A2 dies is really important for making sure that you visually can see what you want to cut out before cutting. Makes it just a little bit nicer. Now, I did decide to go with Big Mama foam tape. I wanted a little bit of loft to my background. I like a little loft on my background panels. It creates a nice little shadow and just really offsets that background from the card base. But I didn't want a lot because we did also build that sentiment up. So I went ahead with my Big Mama. It's a thinner loft compared to my other favorite foam tape, which is Altenew, that is a much thicker loft on it. I do also enjoy the stickiness of the Big Mama foam tape. It's super grippy. Once it's down, it's down. So as you can see, I did a pretty decent white border. I like a thick white border on cards, or colored border for that matter. Just really helps, again, offset that background panel and give it a nice little frame of view so that it kind of brings your eye in to really focus on this panel and the card in the center. We're adding some more liquid glue to the back of that sentiment, and we're going to go ahead and nestle it right there in between those stamped butterflies that I ended up doing earlier. Now, you're going to have to let me know in the comments below what you think. For those of you that have watched a couple of my videos, this is the first one with the new setup. Let me know about the lighting, if you're liking that background of the glass board, if you preferred the darker, just let me know. I'm really interested. As you can tell, it's been a work in progress for me, and I'm just working through it. I think I'm going to buy some different lights so that I can try to get a more true color tone to everything. Or maybe I'm just being picky. Just let me know in the comments below what you think. So another thing that I'm really good at is fiddling. I am a gem embellishment fiddler. So you're going to see that I brought out a bunch of different gems, kind of laid them around, visually looked at them, and just decided to go with these Rainbow Splash clear gems. Absolutely love these. I would really, really love them if they had one more size, but we're going to go ahead and make it work. We're going to add those 5 on there for odds. And that's the card for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm so glad to see you back here on YouTube. Take care.